Oh, shit. We're out of town. Some of these players aren't even on the teams that they're wearing the uniform of. Shit. I didn't save the player hater ball intro. Nah, fuck it. Here we go. It's the motherfucking player hater ball out of town intro. Welcome in, everybody, to this edition of We're Out of Town, and this is the Player Hater Ball from beautiful Williamsburg, Virginia. That's right, Williamsburg, Virginia. For those of you that don't know, our youngest son, Harley, turns 16 in just a few days, and this is the way we're celebrating. So cheers to everybody out there. Happy 16th birthday. Not yet. It'll be on the 11th, but it is coming up. Nope, wait. It's on the 12th, right?
11th.
It's on the 11th. I forgot. Lovely Ray back there, everybody. Victorious Ray. That's right. Let's go ahead and break down week 11. For those of you that kind of pay attention to what I title the podcast, this one is called Second Half is Nigh. That's right. It's here. Look, I have got to switch this up because I do not like this over here. This is over here. So move your fucking ass. Let's get this. Nope, that's not it. Nope, there we go. Yep, there we are. There we are. There we go. I like that a little bit better because I want to look over here, and that's what I want to do. So, that's not working either. So, I don't know why the mouse just disappears. There we go. Sorry, little technical difficulties. I had to be a little bit bigger. That's what she said. Anyways, let's get into it. Week 11 came on our faces, and it went. And it kind of destroyed some people's momentum, like Shane's. Last week I titled Shane is Coming, and it must have been just inside of his wife because he wasn't coming into week 11 with the right mindset for his team, because he met my wife, Rayford Peaches, and got destroyed. 8-3, but at some point it was even 11-0. Looked like he was about to be given a big fat Easter egg. He was able to tie in runs. Had Ray actually paid attention to her team yesterday, she would have won that category, but she benched Jose Caballero. I'm not sure if he gave her a stolen base too, but again, destroyed. 17-36 in the RBIs, 11-5 in the home runs, 276-244. The OBP was kind of close. The ERA is not what Shane wants, and nobody would want it, but Shane came, and now he's fallen back down again. But as I've pointed out, this isn't the end of the world because he still has 11 more weeks, including this week, to get right back with the Lord and the baseball gods. But he's going to have to do it and do it fast because the gap is kind of widening, if you will. So 8-3 was the final score between these two lovely people, and Shane will go into the second half of this season looking up at the top 6. So Shane's looking to try to rebuild on that lost momentum from from 2 weeks ago, rather. Let's talk about another matchup. I'll go ahead and get it out of the way. I'm tired of playing Ashton's son in Ashton's son. Let me back up. Ashton does not have a child yet. I'm tired of playing Eric's son, Ashton, in every facet of fantasy. Why? Because this motherfucker seems to just shine bright against me, and yet he's still dead ass last. But is there room for improvement for his team? Sure there is. Is he likely to, turn things around? Of course he can. But against me last week, 7-4. Not a lot of offensive put out. I can tell you that the pitchers that I had last week can all suck 2 dicks at the same time and get fucked in the ass by another. So if you guys know, That's triple threat. You get an ERA, as high as I did, and you just keep fucking around, and you're going to find out that Ashton's going to think, oh, I've got a good team, and he doesn't have a bad team, but just couldn't get it where I needed to get it, and that's what she said too. Did get the quality starts, did get a couple of save plus holds, and I dominated in strikeouts, but ERA in the win. But at the end of the day, not a lot of bats being swung. I'll tell you, Juan Soto just fell off the fucking face of the earth. He is just trash right now. Hello, come on, get off of there, Jesus. This mouse pad is just not what I'm used to. So bear with me, everybody. I apologize. Yeah, just not a lot from Juan Soto. Thank you, Julio Rodriguez, which obviously thank you, Ashton, for Julio Rodriguez, because he carried my team in the stolen base column pretty much, getting 2, I believe, on Saturday and then 2 on Sunday. So, that gave me false hope. But yeah, Ashton, I'm not in championship mode right now, nor do I look to be primed and ready for that, but he definitely got the best of me again, like he does in all fantasy. So this just, it leaves me to be a little curious about how week 22 is going to even be going, if I'm even going to be in a position to beat him. And it might come down to me needing to beat him. And who knows? Who knows what my team will even look like at that point, right, everybody? Right, everybody? 7-4, congratulations, kid. Bench warmers faced off against troubleshooters, 7-5 between these two friends. This one was kind of close in some categories, like home runs, but not in runs, not in RBIs. I mean, just dominant from Josh in those two categories, dominant in stolen bases. On the flip side, though, troubleshooters was dominant in the ERA and the whip. I mean, he's got Chris Sanchez, Shohei Ohtani, and I believe one other ace pitcher on his team. Let me see. Paul Skeens. And also Ben Brown is shaping up. I'm telling you, I really feel like that he's just got everything in the pitching category. He's got it. But he might just need to make an adjustment or two in the batting column. But he was able, to do what he did. But Josh, man, put up some big numbers. Christian Yelich is now on his team, gave him 8 runs. I got big numbers from Spencer Steer, Casey Schmidt. Casey, we're good at baseball. Casey had a bat. So there you go. We'll talk a little bit more about Josh here in a second as it pertains to my life because, we're restarting. Let's talk about Shorty got low, taking down the tortured baseball department in Jason. Struggling mightily has been Nick here lately, but not this previous week. 12 home runs to Jason 6, 32 RBIs to Jason 17. They were kind of close in the runs, 37-33, very close in the stolen bases, which Jason was able to take. Not the ERA that Jason would like, nor really Nick. 348 to 487 were those two respective, but Nick is definitely showcasing that he can hang with the big dogs. He's just got to get out of the lower tier consolation prize, if you will. So Nick's trying to turn things around in his own team. Winning 8-4 last week helps in that regard at the end of the first half of our season. Mandalorians took down swinging and missing 7-5. I told you guys, I've been telling y'all, Scott's team don't need no Aaron Judge. We all know Aaron Judge, first round pick, gets injured, doesn't matter. 12 home runs, 43 ribbies. They were very close in the run category, but my gosh, Jackson Churio, Willie Adames has turned it around. Nick Kurtz is on his team. I mean, he was just getting it from every angle. Eric just couldn't keep up, and they were relatively close with each other when it came to the ERA and the whip, not so much in the strikeouts, but Eric was able to pull away with some of the pitching categories, one of the batting categories, but not the performance so much that Eric was wanting. And, it's kind of put him in a position where he's also on the outside looking in. Last but not least, let's talk about the other matchup that was. Brian took down the number one team. Now, he didn't knock him out of first place, but he did do the Lord's work. That's right. Brian dominated until what looked like a resurgent comeback was on the way. I mean, if y'all were not paying attention, I think it was like Saturday or maybe just Sunday, Walker was bitching about one home run and then just jiffed us all the way to 8. I mean, it was like every other moment, I'm like, look at that motherfucker hitting a home run. Look at that motherfucker hitting a home run. My God. And we all know that's Walker's roster. Quiet, but then just can be deadly as shit. But it was too late. Brian was able to hold on to the home runs, to the RBIs, to the runs, to the stolen bases, and the OBP. The only thing that was won by Walker in the batting category was the average. And on the flip side, he was able to get the ERA, which we also know is very likely to happen every time Walker pitches, and wins. Now, one of the things let me give the final score, 9-3, Brian taking down Walker. Now, Brian also knows that that's just not going to be enough to get him, nor was it enough to get him into the top 6. But he is looking up. Now, let me just go ahead and preface this real quick as we move into the second half of the season. In case you are wondering, and in case you haven't paid attention, and in case you weren't listening, I will go ahead and give this public service announcement because I am one of those people that is seeking the first time to ever win this, so I know where the source is. Let me put it this way. If I was in the middle of the desert and needed water, Walker would have a cup to drink from. I need some of his water. He's got Chris Sale, Jacob Mizorowski, Jacob deGrom, Garrett Cole, Roki Sasaki, Dylan Cease, Garrett Crochet, Tariq Skubal, Hunter Brown, Blake Snell. That's 10 pitchers. Of those, Chris Sale's an ace. Jacob Mizorowski is more than likely an ace. Jacob deGrom is probably the ace of the Texas Rangers. I wouldn't necessarily say that Garrett Cole is the ace of the Yankees, but he's got prior ace experience. Roki Sasaki, again, but his season is, and he was free city. Who the fuck dropped him? I do not know, but we should call that dude out. I think it was Eric, maybe? I don't know. Dylan Cease, also ace. Garrett Crochet, ace. Tariq Skubal, ace. Hunter Brown, ace. Have I made myself clear to everybody? This dude has aces in the hole. What he doesn't have is what I've been pointing out all season long is excellent and just awesome batters. He gets by, okay? He steals one or two categories where he can. I didn't even know he picked up Cole Emerson, but Kevin McGonigal's probably one of his best batters. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is not where he should have drafted him. He's waiting for Drake Baldwin to come back. He's getting stats from Travis Bazzana. Probably shouldn't have dropped his ass. Picking up Carson Benz was a good idea. Zach Neto, yada, yada, yada. He just has batters. Some of them can put up some good numbers, but obviously this previous week showcased that he's living on a prayer. And he lost 9-3, but I can tell you this much from experience, from being a part of this league, from knowing my friend Walker. He's just biding his time. He's waiting for all these pitchers to come back, for them to showcase their health and their skills, which we all know they have the skills. And then he's going to come knocking. Hey, how's that Julio Rodriguez doing for you? Or how's Juan Soto doing these days? Or maybe how's Ronald Acuna been acting up for you? Trust me, he's on the way. He only needs to get by with making maybe one or two trades, and then we're all going to be in trouble. And again, I'm thirsty. And he's already been made aware. Can I have something to drink? So, yeah, calling my own self out. I know. But, do I even have the power that, would showcase or get me one of his pitchers? So, anyways, let me take a deep breath, move this mouse over there, hit this little button. Let's get into the second half of the season. Week 12 is here. I wanted to get this podcast out before we went and painted the town of Williamsburg. Hey, shout out America. We're almost there. 250 years. Raise your glass to that. 1776 to 2026. Let's go, okay? All right. Week 12 is here. Now, typically, I don't follow the lead of Yahoo with what is the matchup of the week, but this week I will. Why? Because myself and Josh are the only matchup showcasing two top 6 teams. That's right. All of the other teams out there are not playing a top 6 team. It's just myself and Josh. So, Josh, welcome to the official matchup of the week, also labeled by Yahoo. However, I will give an addendum. I think that a great matchup of the week is also going to be father and son. That's right. Eric plays officially Ashton this week on the turnaround. He will play Ashton. So this will be fun to watch because I bet if Ashton wins, there might be a grounding. I don't know. Who knows? I don't know. But let's get into the rest of the matchups that will be taking place this week. Trip and Billy's will face off against the Tortured Baseball Department. Shorty Got Low will face off against Mandalorians. Can Nick keep the momentum going against, in my opinion, a team that is just destined for not only the playoffs, but I believe the championship? I feel like that it's going to come down to Scott and Jason. I'm just putting it in there right now. I know Jason's somewhere in Gainesville, just got a little chubby, but I've been saying it all season long, Jason, so put it away. Rayford Peaches will face off against Rally Monkeys, and Brian Agents of Chaos will face off against Jesus. So for the other matchups, you guys all have some work on both ends. Will you be able to hold on to your position? Because I can tell you that the margin is actually, it seems to be lessening. It seems to be changing just a little bit. Let me give you guys the standings to express what I'm talking about. Rally Monkeys now only has a 2.5 game lead, where I believe last week it was a 6 or 7 game lead over the number 2 spot. 2.5 games. And you'll be facing a very hot Rayford Peaches, one that just took down Shane. Mandalorians will also, who has a 2.5 games back, but a 3 game lead over the Tortured Baseball Department. They too are facing off against a team that is looking to continue going, like I said, in Nick. Tortured Baseball Department, you'll be facing off against Trip and Billy's, who I've been saying has a strong team, and you only have a half a game on me. A game and a half above Josh is myself, so this matchup again means a little bit in terms of like, where will we both go? Depending on if he beats my ass or the other way around, we could both fall out of the top 6, because tied with him in 5th place is Jesus at 7.5 games. Now, Eric is 13.5 games back from Walker. Only a game and a half back from him is Brian. Ray is 2 games back from Brian. 2.5 games back from her is Shane. And a game and a half back from Shane is Nick. And 2 games back from Nick is Ashton. I say all of this to say that we are in the second half of the season, and it is still anybody's season, because it's that close. Couple of good weeks from anybody, and we could be seeing a change and color of the guard. And again, my money is on a few of these bottom tier teams making it into the playoffs, but which one of us in the top 6 will be removed? So I don't want to take up too much more of your time, and I don't want to take up or take away any more time from our vacation up here and the birthday celebrations. Next week, Lord willing, I will be back in Florida with you guys. So we'll be back with the original intro. But yeah, that's all I really have to say. I don't think I have anything more else to say. Do I?
It's a motherfucking thing.
Oh. All right, guys. Have yourself a great week. And yeah, see you guys later. By the way, it's kind of funny that it's Monday and already all 4 moves are gone. That's mean.
That's not
3 of them went away by 3:05.
It's typical.
Shut up. Later, y'all. I pressed the stop button. I did it again.